name is Harold Maresco. I was in the United States Air Force. I was Staff Sergeant. That's E5. When I was in the service in Japan, we found out that a plane, an old propeller-driven plane, was going to be flown to Hong Kong. And there was like 40 seats available. So me and this other guy said, well, let's go and get in line and see if we can get aboard this flight, because it's a chance to travel somewhere. And what we did is we had to leave time, so we had to commute to the next air base, which was 20, 30 minutes away, because at one time we had a cluster of 3 Air Force bases in the same general area of north of Tokyo, Japan. So we had to go to this base called Tachikawa, and we had to, in a hangar, there was a line of people forming, and we stood in line for 12 hours to get in line. And the thing is if some officers came in, they got to the first of the line. So we were in line, and we just kept worrying about too many officers interested in that flight, because we would have to just keep moving back. But luckily we got on board, flew, and it was a long, long flight. We stopped in Taiwan, and then we stopped in Hong Kong, and then the plane was going to be there for 3 days to have engine work done on it by the British Air Force, because they had more of those planes around, and they did the service work on it. So we had 3 days to leave in Hong Kong, and I got to travel. I took a lot of pictures. I had a good time, and that was the only traveling I did while I was stationed in Japan for 4 years, except for in the island, in the islands of Japan itself. So I thought it was very, a very worthwhile trip, and I got to see something new, and I don't think I would have ever been able to afford to go there on my own. So that was completely, all the transportation was paid for by this, the as part of the Space Available plane, and that was, that gave me an opportunity to go and took a big tour of all of the place all over Hong Kong, and it was an amazing experience.
That's awesome.
And,
what year was that?
This was about 1964, I think, because I stayed there till 65, and then in 65 I went from Japan after 30 days leave, and I went to Germany, and I went to Berlin for 23 months.
That's
so
great.
I was almost 6 out of 8 years I spent overseas, and except for 1 month, it was 6 years in a row that I was overseas, because I had 30 days in the States as a leave time. So that was someplace I'd never would have gotten to see on my own.
Awesome. That's great. Well, thanks, Dad, and thanks for sharing, and thanks for your service. And I love you, and I will talk to you later.
I love you. Thanks a lot.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.